How much is it? Seems kind of short. 24. Wait, can you click that? Oh, well, fuck me. Now that summer is upon us, tropical storms will be frequenting. Damn, bro, I'm trying to read, brother. The Kuru coast. One such storm is Hurricane Rose, which is expected to make landfall in 25 hours. Experts remind residents and tourists in coastal areas to exercise caution. Ajuda. Adjutant. Wake up. How do you say that? Adjutant? Adjutant? Wait. I'm not even gonna look it up. Huh? Where are we? Dazzling sunlight shone onto me through one of the sky skiff's porthole windows, causing my already groggy eyes to close once more. What is this fucking Shakespeare shit? Sirius didn't give me a chance to continue dozing. He excitedly pulled me up and turned me around, so I was basically pressed up against the porthole. What am I getting pegged? What? We arrived in the Kuru region 2 hours ago. New Hintaro is down below us. I mean, down below us now. Well, you could click it and it would tell you something. Sirius stared out the window. I followed her gaze to see skyscrapers poking out above the clouds. Soon entire buildings and even the streets below them gradually came into view. Wait, what is it, a floating city? Floating in the sky, isolated from the outside world, New Hintaro. New Hintaro was one of the famed cities of miracles. I was looking at it with my own eyes now in all of its magical, mysterious... Wait, what? Wait, am I dumb? Oh, magical, mysterious glory. Yeah, I'm just dumb. Wait, what? The three of us has set out for New Hintaro to find a way to handle the Titagen contamination in Life's body. The only way to get to this floating city was by sky skiff, a massive passenger airship. Damn, it doesn't have a name, it's just called sky skiff. It really is floating in the midair. Just like the castle in the sky in that old fairy tale I read when I was little. There are hundreds of thousands of people living in it. I heard that every single day they use the same amount of energy cities on the ground use in an entire year just to keep it in the air. Oh, it is a floating city. I thought it was like underwater. Are there really that many people living here? Yeah, what we see below is just one of the floating districts of the city. That's crazy. That's crazy. Such a high cost just to keep isolated from the rest of the world. Dear passengers, the H2 Pluma has begun its descent to New Hintaro Skyport and will be arriving in 20 minutes. Thank you for choosing to fly with us. We wish you a pleasant trip. Perfect timing. I'll tell Life to wake up. Why the fuck would anybody want to live in the sky? Actually. After a 21-hour ride on the sky skiff, we arrived in New Hintaro. As expected, the skyport was busy. Materials and energy Materials and energy required by the entire city, the goods and waste it produced, and tourists visiting the city could all only enter and exit from this one point. Does it have a force field around it or something? Her sprite looks so good. Adjutant, here's your entry permit. God, a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I was lost in thought looking at the crowd in front of me. Life and Sirius had already entered from going through border control. That was quick. I thought the line seemed really long. The border control officer said Director T arranged... Is it T? I don't remember how to say her name. Tao. Director T arranged a special channel for Jaeger sale employees, so it was really fast. Sirius looked around, leaned in closer, then continued in a low voice. New Hintaro strictly controls weapons. Residents aren't allowed to have any in their possession. The company secured authorization for us to bring weapons into the city. Still, I'll put on my exosuit just in case. That was a relief. I nodded. Sirius exosuit Kasana, despite its rather conspicuous appearance, it better help her handle unforeseen circumstance. I shifted my gaze to Life. She looked a little paler than she did when we departed, maybe due to the exhaustion from our long journey. Life, are you not feeling well? I'm just a little tired. It's not a big deal. If something is wrong, I'll tell you right away. Life had begun smiling more than ever since her health problems began. What? It seemed like she was trying to comfort me. Don't push yourself. I'm sorry to interrupt. Oh my god, who is this? Oh, the luckiest tie in the world. We heard a voice we didn't recognize coming from up ahead. I looked up to a spot with a girl with black hair and a business suit? God damn, yo. A business suit standing in front of us. She looked to be around the same age as Life. Behind her reflective glasses was a pair of nervous yet beautiful eyes. Yeah. Oh, she even got the lipstick. You got the twin tails. Yo. Yeah, that's me. It's still so bold. I mean, nice to meet you. I'm Agave. Director T sent me to receive you. 1 week earlier. Why are you showing me this? New Hintaro is a unique place. There's strict control over who enters and exits, and very little information is communicated with the outside world. But I sent a manifestation there a year ago to undercover as a news correspondent. She will be your guide after you arrive. Agave. She's from the Internal Affairs Unit Levite. Why would T send someone to New Hintaro? Bro, I hate that name. Hintaro. Wait, something wasn't right. Did T know from the beginning that former board members were hiding out in Kuru? Maybe the intel Sirius gathered hadn't been news to T at all. Could have had her eye on this place for a long time. So that's why. Don't look at me like that. I don't have to be a mind reader to know what you're thinking. I have other reasons for sending a Levitain agent to New Hintaro, but based on Sirius's intel, Agave will certainly come in handy for this. She doesn't have much practical combat experience, but she's good at gathering intel. You'll need her in New Hintaro. Hintaro. Agave. Oh my god, bro, how does she see? Levitain operatives are required to use code names during missions. So that's mine. What's her real name? Oh, it's gotta be sexy. See, they even started playing the porn music. As she explained this, she attempted to reach over and take the suitcase I was carrying. However, her soft hand was tightly gripped by another before it could reach its destination. Ow, ow, ow. What are you going to do? As Life grabbed Agave's wrist, As Life grabbed Agave's wrist, she exuded a strong disdain for this stranger. Even though she was still injured, stopping Agave was a walk in the park. Seems like she doesn't have much combat experience. Let's find somewhere else to talk. You guys are making too much noise. People are starting to stare. The black-haired girl strode quickly and earnestly as she led the way. He occasionally took a cautious glance backward, seemingly scared by Life. It wasn't until we had left the skyport and reached an intersection that she finally stopped. Well, can I talk now? She's so fun. Oh my god, yo, she has to be playable. She has to be. Agave looked over at me nervously, breathing a sigh of relief when I nodded. Following the arrangements Dr. T made, I'll lead you to the Heartflow Garden to get treatment for Miss Life, Bestla. Yeah, her last name is Dom. I'm sorry, it's Dom. Heartflow Garden is the most famous health resort in New Hintero. Oh. Famous health resort in New Hintero. There you can get the best diagnosis and physical therapy. If you use Director T's name, you should be able to get a room right away. As she spoke about this familiar topic, Agave's tone inadvertently grew more excitable, and she began speaking much faster. After saying this, she took a step left at the intersection, seemingly indicating that we should continue that way. And let's follow the original plan. My two operatives nodded. Sirius and I then stood still while Life walked over to Agave. Ajatan, I'll wait there for you. Huh? Are you guys splitting up? This is different from the original plan. We have something we need to take care of. We'll leave Life in your hands, Agave. I patted her shoulder and turned to leave with Sirius before she could press the issue. What's going on here? I feel like I'm the only one out of the loop. Before we had left Yggdrasil, I visited Director T's office again. We're almost ready to leave. You still haven't told me what's in New Hintero that can cure life. After you arrive, go to the Tower of Hanoi and find Ganges. What? Fuck is Ganges? Our tone was similar to the NPCs who gave you missions in those old games Acacia liked, tricking the main character into visiting a new place by saying things they don't understand. I get it. Ganges? Is that a medical facility? Ganges is the supercomputer that manages the city. It was created by mentor Kalpana Dawi. Or these names are killing me. I mentioned before how New Hintero has achieved a stable, balanced society. That's all thanks to Ganges. Have you ever thought about what a computer could be capable of if it knew everything about the past and present? What the fuck? What? It can predict the future. You're sharp. Of course, reality contains too many unpredictable factors. Unless you create a city in a bottle. In that context, Ganges receives absolutely all of the information in the city, processes it, makes decisions, then outputs adjustments to the city as necessary. As a result, New Hintero has consistently maintained stability throughout its development. This is known as the Ganges balance in academia. We need assistance from someone with computing power as good as Edda's in deal. Wait, what? As good as Edda's in deal with the light, with the Titagen and so what? What? Eh? Who dressed this man? What the fuck is that belt, yo? Entry permit and ID, please. Hurry up, I'm in a rush. It really is just a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Your name is Annie Holden? That's me. Miss Holden, in accordance with the New Hintero border control regulations, tourists are not allowed to carry weapons without special authorization. Huh? I'm not a tourist. But your permit application says that your reason for that's your reason for visiting. Ah yes, okay, I won't bring it. Understood, please wait a moment. There's still a bunch of people waiting in line. Are we going to be able to help all of them today? Are you joking? We aren't as fast as the usual service bots. Unbelievable. A service outage right at peak tourist times. The game just shut down due to a data overload. Don't be ridiculous. Hurry up and stamp those documents. It's going to be a busy day. Adjutant, I think the building up ahead is the Tower of Hanoi. A white conical tower shone in the sunlight about 100 meters ahead of Sirius and me. The Tower of Hanoi didn't stand out much. Seeing as it was located on the edge of the city, I only realized it was the tallest building in the New Hintero after getting closer. Woo! Adjutant. Theorist. That's all you have to say? I ran all the way here to catch up with you guys. Oh, now that you mention it, how come you didn't take the same sky skiff as us? You forgot again. The adjutant said the company only had 3 special entry permits, so I had to buy my own to get in. Ain't she ballin'? I was actually able to get in with the black market permit I bought. New Hintero isn't as strict as they say it is. Don't do anything this rash next time. I reached out and rubbed a little on his head a few times as I said this. Like Finney mentioned, there were originally only 3 people going on this trip. Life, Sirius, and me. Finney quickly brought an entry permit and sky skiff ticket before we left, insisting on coming despite my objection. What do you mean, rash? Life can't even fight right now, and what if the goldfish can't handle the enemies here by herself? I'm here because I'm worried about your safety. Before we left, I remember you saying you were worried Life would run off or something. Hey, how'd you remember that so clearly? Forget it. We have stuff to handle now, right? I think we need to go to some tower or something. Hold on. There's something very important I need you to do, Finney. What is it? I'm not good at logistics support. Please, only you can do it, Finney. I leaned in close, whispering my request to Finney. Her confused expression gradually transformed into determination. In that case, I'll show you how dependable I am, Adjutant. But you need to promise to stay safe and contact me right away if anything happens. Don't worry, I will. After securing this promise, Finney turned and left, clearly satisfied. I hope she won't do anything crazy. Come on, Sirius, we need to get moving. Wow. The interior of the Tower of Hanoi was much more breathtaking than its exterior. Sirius and I entered through the unguarded door. The smooth marble tiles we walked on were like shiny mirrors, reflecting the surrounding light. Our gazes were most drawn to several massive holographic projections floating in the main hall. With the light, it felt like we could almost touch them. It seemed like this place didn't see regular visitors. A few citizens stood in small groups in the empty hall, all silently admiring its beauty in unspoken agreement. Tell me, why are you blocking off this area? Oh my god. Miss, I already told you the realm is being inspected and is under maintenance. Only relevant personnel are allowed to enter. Maintenance on the realm has always been taken care of by Ganges and service bots. Who are you guys? We're the human staff responsible for maintenance in the Tower of Hanoi. Don't worry, we are New Hintero citizens just like you. You must be aware that the service bots within the city have been unreliable recently. Oh my god, bro. Yo, she just naked? He really is just butt-ass naked. That is crazy. That's why I want to go into the realm. I need to check on Ganges. And that's all the more reason for you to cooperate with us. We're here to help Ganges conduct a system inspection after receiving an assistance request from it. Is that the truth? You already saw my citizen data. How could I fake that? That's a big ass ring. Ah. The fuck it, what is he wearing? You over there, sir. You're here for Ganges too, right? If you still have any concerns. I have a basic understanding of what's going on. I'll head back and explain it to my bionic compatriots. Wonderful, ha 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 ha. The man with his back to me let loose an exaggerated laugh. Unaware that the pistol strapped on his waist was particularly obvious. I can just knock him out? Hercules. Without a moment's hesitation, I stepped forward and struck the back of the man's head with the butt of my gun. He immediately. 6 in the lobby, at least 5 on the second floor. Go, Cirrus. But do we get to play as there? Please tell me we do. I just don't like her shoes. Nice ass shot, yo. I'm still waiting for us to be able to melee. Ah! Wait, who busted him up? Need her shotgun. If anything. But that shit is so broken. Like, actually. It is so busted. Like, the blast radius is crazy. Is bro really named Modak? As if they always say that and then it's just like literal, like actually nobody. Oh, fuck. Dangerous enemy. Dead enemy. Yeah. Shit is so broken. It is so fucking broken. Shit is balanced. It's not balanced. Not balanced. Not one bit. What the fuck? I wonder if you take reduced damage from the back. You can fucking pre-charge with it. Alright, somebody had fun making this level. Somebody. Somebody really had fun making this. God damn, bro. She is really caked up. You get behind me. Okay, I really hope I can get it. Really. Like, the more I use it, the more I like it. Was I not supposed to come down here? Oh. Bro, what is he made of? Bro is literally Wolverine. And he's 336,000 damage. He was Wolverine. Yo, she knows she caked up too. Hasn't even been a year yet. Cleanup team has already been reduced to this. I played with a pistol belonging to a man who called himself an employee. The Yggdrasil developed this model in 2057. And it had been And it had long been one of my favorites. When I noticed the man was carrying his gun, I knew for certain that the former board was mixed up in this. I made a new discovery while investigating the former board members' movements. Apparently it seems that at least 2 of them have fled to the Kuru region, but I'm still unsure why. What were they planning to do? Even though I originally wanted to spare his life, his companions killed him during the chaos. There were several bodies scattered throughout the hall, but no one gathered intel for him. Iris also returned at this moment. He had gone to check if there was any other information on those individuals, but judging from her furrowed brow, she most likely hadn't learned much. Pulled out the small notebook she carried with her as she walked, flipping through it before nodding decisively. Judging by their reactions, I don't think they were here to ambush us. You mean they had another goal in coming here? Yes, it looks like they came to the Tower of Hanoi for Ganges. Oh my god. Please let her be next. Please. Ganges? The girl who had taken cover to the side during the firefight suddenly appeared before me, seemingly tipped off by an important word. You want with the game. Bring all these weapons to New Hintaro, deliberately hurt people, and now you've got your sights on Ganges? You guys are menaces. Ugh. Where are all the service bots? Acquiesce? What? You're right. You can leave, the doors open now. My friend, even though I would like to leave here, at some point the odd man had returned. But I implore you to use those eagle eyes of yours. The door to freedom is still shut tight. Met with no reaction from any of us, the man jogged over to the door and whacked it with his bionic arm, just to see it claim the door didn't budge. In that case, we might need to sit down and have a chat. I think I understand. Oh, she's so hot. And she has the little smug face. The little cat lips. So Miss Nozomi, you're a transcendent. You projected into reality as a virtual image by an auxiliary bot after uploading your consciousness. You are a professional idol? Oh my god. Correct. Oh. Oh, cause she can't change her face. Okay, I get it. Hey, of course I'm expressive under normal circumstances. It's all that designer's fault. I booked him to create a new set of images months ago, but he just told me he couldn't finish them a few days ago. He even said idols only need to smile anyway. Nozomi's tone was dripping with resentment, but her expression was still frozen in a smile. And Mr. Modak, you're a bionic whose body has been mechanized. You work at the Skyport. Don't forget that I'm also a poet, but no one cares. No one asked. No one cares. Say that around 1/3 of the people in New Hintaro are transcendents, another third are bionics, while the rest haven't undergone any augmentation. Didn't you see any transcendents or bionics on your way from the Skyport to the Tower of Hanoi? We thought those were just holographic ads and cosplayers. Well, it's normal for outsiders to be unfamiliar with the situation in New Hintaro. Miss Nozomi, why did you undergo an augmentation like this? Was it because of Juvosis? Huh? Juvosis? Of course not. I did it so I could ignore any constraints that come with a physical body. Seamlessly connect my consciousness to the internet and change my appearance whenever I want. I think those are the reasons most people become transcendents. Is she just a fucking VTuber? As for Juvosis, it was eradicated from New Hentero 30 years ago. What? Eradicated? So there's no threat of Titans and Juvosis doesn't even exist here? Correct. Admittedly, New Hentero is like an oasis in a vast desert. As the ancient sages of Kuru once said, labor in the morning to enjoy happiness in the evening. There's nothing else the people of New Hentero need to concern themselves with. And yet there are young people who don't even want to work. They intend to lead the city to a point of no return. Hey, are you sure you're not getting things twisted? If it weren't for you bionics, the service bots and gauges might not be having issues. This has nothing to do with Outsider. Allow me to explain, my friend. 2 weeks ago, a bionic and a transcendent began fighting over a problem at work. That bionic clearly started it. Anyway, during the fight, the transcendent hacked into the bionic system, caused its arm to explode, while the bionic damaged the transcendent's auxiliary bot. Sounds like a normal civil dispute. There's something more to it? Oh, it really was just a small incident. Here's the problem. The service bot responsible for policing the area didn't respond after it happened. You have robots to police and resolve disputes? Is there a problem with that? Humans are subjective, so only the service bots that Gauges controls can make fair objective calls. Well, machines should make choices for humans. Giving up the ability to think and letting machines solve everything is totally backward. Dearest, let her continue. That's why they say outsiders just don't understand New Hentero. Since then, New Hentero has seen many other instances where service bots went down or acted sluggish. Fortunately, none of it has led to any major chaos so far. But the city assembly is going to be held in a week. If the service bots are still malfunctioning, the votes can't be properly counted. That's why I came, as a representative of the Transcendents, to check on Gauges. Transcendents have gained immense popularity in politics as of late. Several seats in the city assembly. That's why you're so eager to resolve the situation. So what? Aren't you the representative of all the bionics at the Skyport? Politics is poison for philosophers. I stopped attending city assemblies a long time ago. I'm simply here to provide an explanation for my compatriots. Who would believe such a dumb excuse? Wait a second, if you were never going to vote yourself anyway, is it your doing that I'm trapped here? You bionics teamed up with these outsiders to prevent me from performing at the voter rallies. And delayed Gauges' inspection to sway the votes, didn't you? Miss, do not let your imagination run wild. I hope my daughter won't be like this when she grows up. Ajitan, do you think someone from the former board caused the service bot outage they mentioned? Dearest quietly pulled me aside as the two continued to argue. Oh shit. Maybe they purposefully sabotaged the service bots to cause unrest in the city. But as I say that, I realize something odd. Why would the former board want to cause unrest in the city? Besides, I think those grunts in the Tower of Hanoi were trying to hide something. I think their only target is Gauges in the Tower of Hanoi. Service bots in the city are having problems because they're controlled by Gauges. They would have no reason to target the service bots, just going for Gauges instead. After all, the most valuable thing to the city is its all-knowing supercomputer Gauges. We need Gauges. Or that's like saying darkness 10 times in a row. We need Gauges. Computing power to cure life. So they naturally have their eyes on it too. That's why they showed up in Kuru a couple weeks ago. My friend, can't simply pretend I didn't hear that just now. If what you say is true, wouldn't it mean these thieves have already infiltrated the Tower of Hanoi? Have their hands on New Hentero's very lifeblood? Exactly. Eric. Even the comms network is down. Who knows when the outside world will hear about? But she is beautiful. What the fuck is that? This? Sudden boom caused Nozomi to trail off mid-complaint. Four of us watched on in astonishment. A ring of dazzling light rose out of thin air in the center of the hole. It seemed as if the other projections in the hall were being summoned. They began simultaneously approaching the light, surrounding it like a school of fish. Light had a strange allure, and I stared at the center of the glowing ring. There I was, seemingly able to catch a glimpse of some sort of lens. For a moment, I seemingly saw the two fish suspended in the hole come to life. I thought I saw them glance over at Cirrus as she stood beside me. A tight sensation in my palm caused me to tilt my head, but there was nothing abnormal about Cirrus' experience. That a holographic projection too? That is a door between reality and illusion. Perfect unity of imagination and fantasy. It means that's the door to the virtual realm. Those guys said the realms were under maintenance. I thought they closed off the entrance. Nozomi tilted her head after flying around the ring of light once. She grew more excited. While the exit from here might be closed, since the entrance to the realms is open, at least we can go in and save Ganges. With that, Nozomi's auxiliary bot flew toward the center of the ring. Oh, why are you grabbing me all of a sudden? The auxiliary bot violently shook in my hands, expressing its owner's displeasure. Now that we're sure someone has already invaded Ganges, that door practically has trap written all over it. We can't just wait around here. I rubbed my temples, realizing how hard it was to communicate with the people of New Hentaro. I understand, of course, but just Cirrus and I can go in. You stay with Moldok and find a safe place to hide. Whether we succeed or not, after going in, they can't keep the tower for Noi closed off for long. People on the outside will definitely find out. No way. Miss Nozomi, this isn't the time to be stubborn. We've gone up against the people invading Ganges multiple times before. They don't care about hurting innocent people. Don't treat me like a kid. I know it's going to be dangerous, but this is New Hentaro, my home. I don't want two groups of outsiders fighting in the Tower of Hanoi. The virtual realms are really complex. Without an amazing god like me, you won't be able to find Ganges, no matter how long you search. Nozomi patted her chest confidently, and the auxiliary bot that had been struggling with my grasp finally settled down. I feel the same way, my friend. In any case, there is no reason for us to avoid involvement with what is happening to Ganges. I shifted my gaze from the two of them back to the ring of light rotating silently, and I look forward to working together. And we'll be heading out. Thank you, Kalpana. All I did was provide you with a viable plan. It should be me thanking you for convincing them to invest in the Realm project. After the realms and Ganges are completed, New Hentaro will be a paradise on Earth. Kalpana suddenly felt an unbelievable sense of bliss. With the help of her most outstanding student, T, seemed that her lifelong dream would come to fruit. Auntie. Auntie T is crazy. Auntie T, what are you guys talking about? Erza, did you finish your homework? Of course, middle school homework is a piece of cake. I finished it forever ago. I heard you guys talking about the road. Can you tell me about it? Where did we leave off last time? He revealed an imperceptible smile. Always had more patience for her mentor's daughter. The world as we know it is actually a horizon. People's behavior depends on the things they personally. It has nothing to do with the world itself. We can help people relax, unleash their potential, and improve their willpower by creating an immersive illusion. That's the goal of the Realm project. Remembered everything perfectly, Erza. We were discussing technical issues today. Your mother hopes participants will be able to enter the realm completely naturally, without the use of any external devices. Is this just Penacona? That way, actions taken in the realm can affect reality, creating the best possible environment for training. That sounds like a headache. Is it really necessary? Lower the entry threshold and allow more people to freely use the realm. Your ideas are always too impractical. You'll understand someday. Jeez, you always say that. I'm going out to play. As I made a face at T before running out the door. Fana, you should treat your daughter like you would an adult. Much smarter than most children her age. Sometimes I wish she was just a normal kid. Damn, she wish she was dumb? I ain't never heard nobody say that in my life. Why can't she just be dumb like everybody else? Why is my daughter so smart? Bro, oh my god, yo.
いやいや、こんな小世界は聞いたこともないってば。私たちが探している豪舎ってこういう場所にあるの？さあね。
Nah, it has that much vertical range? You.
簡単には見つからないわ。
Nah. Yo, the grouping is too good. It's way too good. I just can't with the damage. Like for a skill, that is fucking ridiculous. What I miss? Is she switching so hard?
その後ろに隠れているドローンが攻撃をしているの。すみません。
Wait, does Nozomi have a voice? Who's she been talking to? Fall off, dog. Oh shit. Oh my gosh, she has a voice. Okay, she's cute as shit. Yeah, she has to be playable. If she isn't, I'm gonna be so sad. Thank you. Hold up. I wonder if it only marks them if they're in front of you. It's like Nahita's fucking skill if it was insane. I wonder how strong the shield is. Actually. Oh, I thought the game crashed. I was like, it didn't make her butt too fat. I can't focus. It made her butt way too fat. Oh my god, yo. I thought that was a little. Oh my god. I gotta get her. I gotta get her. I'ma try. Made her so thick. Amidst the rundown houses and crumbling streets, white snow occasionally fell from the gray sky, with piles of the stuff visible everywhere. Even the weather and temperature were the same as Containment Zone Aleph. If it wasn't for those colorful data blocks, no one would have believed this wasn't the Containment Zone. It was just Minecraft, but the textures didn't load. Back at the company, Director T had mentioned the existence of this realm, a virtual space developed by her mentor. However, I'd underestimated how realistic it would be before I actually set foot inside. So hot. Wait, can you see through her stomach? I don't know about that. Turning a realm into this is terrible. Nozomi followed closely behind me. He occasionally glanced at the surrounding buildings and alleyways, scared that another enemy might suddenly appear. I had no idea that a place like this even existed, and it looks totally uninhabitable. I mean, even after a minute it feels miserable. Never have I seen a place like this before. I find it impossible not to lament its existence, yet it also spurs my thoughts. Was he really a poet? What is he, a monk? He's funny. Ignoring their comments, I continued scanning the building up ahead. Adjutant. What is it? You don't look so good. Yeah, I'm hungry. How'd she know? As she said this, Steers walked over, stood on her tiptoes, and rubbed my brow. What? That's a bit better. She's so cute. She naturally moved to pull her hand away, but I stopped her, grabbing her hand without saying anything. Adjutant? You don't look so good either, Steers. What are you talking? You ugly too. What? What are you thinking about? I just feel like this is obviously an environment from the containment zone, but it seems like there's a lot of... Sorry, I can't remember the details. It's okay, the details aren't important. But why is what's important. Why? Why? Yeah. Generating the containment zone here is basically our opponent announcing that they know us very well. Why would they do that though? Look at that building up ahead. Titans destroyed it during a mission not long before we came here. How does the realm have even a small detail like that? Sorry, I don't really remember, but I do feel like I'm being watched. I don't know why something you guys are so familiar with is being generated here, but it's impossible to read people's memory. Mr. Adjutant, you weren't wearing any kind of strange helmet or patch when you entered the realm. Even Genghis can't see into your mind. I can't argue with that. Shook my head, Nozomi's reassurance unable to completely quell my doubts. I have a question. Where are we going right now? Since we entered this place, we've just been walking along this road. That's part of what makes the realm so magical. You must be wondering the same thing, right, Adjutant? Oh, her eyes are so pretty. Oh, really? The surface it looks just like the real world, but actually the other roads are blocked by collapsed buildings and those colorful data blocks. So you're saying the road we're on now is the only path in the realm? Yes, for right now anyway. I think it's because in reality our bodies are still in the Tower of Hanoi. As we move forward in the realm, we also move in reality. So the path the realm designed for us has to match the next floor in the tower in the real world. Am I right, Nozomi? Do you have some kind of superpower? How'd you figure it out so fast? After confirming our objective, we picked up the pace. Fortunately, even though there were quite a few enemies in the realm, none of them were any match for Sue. And after a colorful portal like we'd seen in the hall appeared before us again. We made it. Let's get out of this hellhole. The road ahead is promising, my friend. I hope he doesn't die. He's kind of funny. Nozomi and Modak walked through the portal one after the other, immediately disappearing. I feel like that was too easy. Dearest remained silent, checked over the weapon in her hand and gave me a soft smile. Either way, having a manifestation with me at a time like this made me feel much more at ease. Thank you for participating in the Realm virtual training. Please rate your experience. Satisfied, 5 star. Multiple projections of system interfaces appeared in the empty hall as electronic voices repeated the same instructions over and over again. The four of us lingered in uncanny silence until we couldn't handle it anymore, manually closing the projected interfaces. With that, the irritating electronic voice stopped. Looks like we were tricked. We had been moving in one direction the whole time, but somehow wound up back where we started. Did that mean the realm was a circle? I shook my head, ignoring those strange thoughts from. Perhaps the realm has already been cut off, and we are simply like birds in a cage. The realm is a reflection of reality. As long as the portal still exists in reality, there's no reason it can't be accessed in the realm. Something must have been changed. Let's go back in and take a look. We're right back here again. Something seriously off with this place. Alright. How annoying. When they realized those weak mobs couldn't stop us, they just messed with the realm. That's cheating. Compared with getting lost, the bigger problem is that our opponent has the ability to do. That means Gain just doesn't have much control over the realm anymore. Yeah, I thought this was a race, but it looks like the referee has been taken away. Nozomi's auxiliary bot circled around in midair before slowly descending into my palm, looking somewhat exhausted. It appears that spending more time here is futile. Shall we retreat, my friend? Wait a second. What? Shh. Put a hand on MODOK before he could turn around and use my other hand to cover the auxiliary bot's speaker to signal them to quiet down. Iris continued ahead in front of us, three, swaying as she walked. Shut her eyes tightly, wandering around the open space as she muttered quietly to herself. What's she doing? Seems like she's looking for something. What does that mean? Seemingly confirming my theory, Cirrus suddenly stopped. There was nothing in front of her, but it was like she wanted to pass over something. She deliberately raised her right foot before slowly lowering it. A pink data block suddenly appeared below her foot out of thin air. Aww. Cirrus smiled. Her eyes were still closed and she took another step without any hesitation. This time nothing appeared. Ouch. I helped Cirrus up, seeing as she was dizzy after that fall. Even though manifestations were much physically stronger than normal people, they could still get hurt by suddenly slipping and falling. Well, that fucking sucks. Nearby, Nozomi and MODOK were still studying the data block that had appeared out of thin air. I reached out to rub Cirrus's forehead and wipe away the dust on her nose. Ah, why are you laughing? I was thinking about how gentle you are, Ajitan. Did you tell the gentle Ajitan what you were doing just now? So you were watching? I like her new haircut. Kinda looks like Katya's from the front. It wasn't really anything. You explained the principle behind the realm before, right? On the surface it looks just like the real world, but actually the other roads are blocked by collapsed buildings, colorful data blocks. As we move forward in the realm, we also move in reality. The path the realm designed for us has to match the next floor in the tower in the real world. After hearing that, I felt like I'd been in a similar situation before. Wanted to see if I could pass through those blocked off areas if I convinced myself there were steps in front of me. It seems like it didn't work. We're gonna have to think of something else. I have a question. What were you thinking about when you took your second step? Huh? I guess I was thinking it actually worked. Just as I expected. I got it, Cirrus. You got the right idea. We just need to try again, and this time we'll do it together. Closing my eyes, my other senses suddenly heightened. The gentle sound of wind blowing through the room. Cirrus breathing behind me. The warmth of our clasped hands all became increasingly. What beautiful weather. I'd already asked Nozomi and MODOK to watch from a distance and avoid making any noise. I then began to slowly pull Cirrus forward. Cirrus had just proved that human willpower alone could create a path in the realm. But I remember T telling me that one of the original goals of the realm was to exercise people's willpower. I was all the more convinced this serious approach wouldn't conflict with the rule. Also easy to see why she failed the second time, regardless of how much mental preparation she would definitely think of how she created the first block herself after it appeared. It would naturally become more and more difficult to trick yourself into forward. Looked like a dead end. The last spark of hope lay with Cirrus and me. Ajitand, are we still not there? Soon. We just need to get to the second floor. Don't peek before we get there. Yeah, I can't wait to see what surprise she set up for me. Betting on two things. First, Cirrus would forget where she was in a very short period of time. Second, she would have complete trust in what I said. That I created a reality and described it to her over and over until she believed, like she was hypnotized. It was the only way I could bring her along and force the non-existent path to show itself. Watch your step. Said this nonchalantly after walking a few dozen steps in the right direction. Without an ounce of hesitation, Cirrus began to climb the first step, then the second, then the third, until she realized there were no more steps and stopped. I opened my eyes and glanced behind me. A rising path of colorful cubes crossed over the crumbling building as if the cubes had always been there. Cirrus still had her eyes closed next to me in blissful ignorance, waiting for me to guide her forward. Ew. Just one more step. Contact cut off from the outside world where you go in to run to. Changes, you're only a program after all. You don't know how to adapt after all. Different and rigid, just like that woman. Go ahead, run. I have plenty of time to play hide and seek with you. Is that the lady's daughter? I got mine. Give me mine, give me mine. Boom, 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 boom. That's done. Did she just break something? Did she drop? Do it again, do it again. What the fuck? What an idle animation. Okay, I love her already. Already. Even MODOK has a voice actor. What the fuck? I didn't think he would have a voice. Bro, that shit is busted. This shit is actually busted. Bye. It's sucking me. God damn. Yo, the suction on that is fucking nasty. It was sucking me. ult is a super nuke. I missed it. The skill is just a baby nuke. What if you need her weapon? Wait, is it a projectile? The fuck do I get up there? Oh, now I gotta turn around and blow y'all up. Well, how big is the AoE? Bro, you're fucked. Hold up. Wait, wrong button. Well, now I know you can roll out of it. 338,000 damage. For nothing. Like, actually for nothing. She's so hot. That is a woman. I really hope I have enough stamina to do the whole thing. I forgot about her. Agave in life had already been moving forward in silence for about half an hour. Miss Life? Just call me Life. Alright. I wanted to say I was actually a part of the Valkyrie games. It's gonna be playable, yo. Boom. There it is. I didn't see you on the field. It's because I wasn't a contestant. Oh, never mind. I was an off-site employee. I was the director for the event broadcast. Were you there when the descent happened? Agave noticed that Life's tone had softened. Perhaps it was due to a sense of empathy and experiencing the same traumatic incident. Yeah, the broadcast room was outside the arena, but we were still close enough, and the entire building collapsed. I remember being dug out around 3 hours later by people from the Yggdrasil security department. Oh yeah, that was the first time I met Daddy. That was the only time you two met? Special reasons I want to seriously thank him in person. Yo, why does everybody love us? Like everybody. Everybody know us, everybody like us. Alright, that's enough about me, Life. What kind of person do you think? My name is so dumb, I need to change it. Name is so fucking stupid. To me, he's a very important person. Oh, I think he's the most important person. Huh? The most important person? Does that mean what I think it means? Life Bestla, do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband to live together in holy matrimony? Love him, care for him, remain faithful to him in sickness and in health. For richer or poor, as long as you both shall live. I do. Take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife to live together in holy matrimony. Love her, care for her, and remain faithful to her in sickness and in health. For richer or poor, as long as you both still shall live. I do. Those in attendance, are you willing to bear witness to these vows? Along with excited cheers and applause, the sound of cannons and a wedding march rushed into Agave's mind. She opened her mouth, unable to stop herself from cheering along. Also, she's a nut. What else can you say to that but I do? Oh, she's gonna be fun. Surely she'll be playable. It'll be fun. Raucous crowd dragged Agave. Come on, yo. The raucous crowd dragged Agave out of her delusion and back into reality. She returned to her senses, Life stood before her, and the path ahead was already blocked off by a crowd. Almost ran into those people up ahead just now. Sorry. In front of the two girls, a crowd of bionics, transcendents, and ordinary people stood intermingled, either whispering or stopping to. An auxiliary bot hovered in midair in the center of the crowd, playing a song sung by a young woman. 3, 2, 1. I'm striking your heart. Damn, yo. Not even a hook. Just one line. What's going on here? Does this mean we get an idol event? Eventually? A voter rally. New Hintero holds regular city assemblies to vote on urban development policy. Transcendents like to use performances, songs, or dances to promote their policy. They're really popular with the younger crowd. Oh, VTuber politics? Sounds like the promotions we did for the Valkyrie games. They're definitely similar from a publicity perspective. But this must be your first time seeing so many bionics and transcendents, aren't you surprised? I was stunned when I first came to New Hintero. Bionics are people whose bodies have been mechanically augmented, right? Our captain and another operative both have bionic prosthesis. Sounds like being in the Heimdall force is super dangerous. Might be misunderstanding. Let's keep moving. As they approached the center, the singing and sounds of musical instruments grew louder and louder. You struggled through the packed crowd, finally making their way to the front of the group of onlookers. Huh? The whole group of performers? First, the two could only spot the airborne auxiliary bot. After they got closer, they discovered a small band made up of a guitar, bass, and drums, middle of the crowd. The guitarist was especially engrossed in the music, the blue color in her hair making her clearly— Is this Bochi? We doing Bochi to rock? Oh, Katya? What? Life made Agave wait with her until the performance ended. After Katya handed her guitar to another member of the band, she noticed Life's eye. Oh, you're here, Miss Champion? What are you doing here? I was just enjoying my vacation when I learned this band was missing a guitarist. I came to help out. This isn't the time for jokes. You could be thrown in prison if you're caught sneaking into the city without an entry permit. Even if it's for the Ajitan, you shouldn't sneak in here on your own. You are throwing around wild accusations, Miss Champion. Katya pulled out a blue card and waved it at Life. See? I applied for a tourist permit 5 years ago. Just so happens it was recently approved. Let me see. Life, this permit looks to be authentic. Sorry, I was wrong. That's my turn to ask the question. I hate my name. I hate it. He went to the Tower of Hanoi. Sounds familiar. I think the lead singer of the band just said her friend went there too. Interesting. Are you going to go? Maybe if I want to. You need to give men their alone time once in a while. Sirius is there too. Before Life even finished speaking, Katya's gaze shifted and she vanished in the blink of an eye. Let's keep moving. Perhaps due to Life's overly calm reaction, they had walked through the crowd for a few minutes before Agave seemed to realize what happened. Did Katya just turn into a fragmented phantom? See fragmented phantoms? Yeah, my abilities have something to do with fragmentation too. Alright, so she is going to be playable. Surely. But it's amazing she's able to fragment her entire body. Her ability is very helpful to the Ajital. It's also dangerous. Dangerous? The rest of your time belongs to me and me alone. I'll help you take care of those little girls on the way. How scary. After saying it twice already, Life had already gotten somewhat used to the odd, overly imaginative state her god would sometimes become absorbed in. What, does she pass out? What? But when an airborne delivery bot came hurling down toward Agave, Life, who was still struggling to move her injured body unconsciously, pushed her out of the way to safety. Bang. Amidst Agave's screams, the robot fell like a brick right in front of where she was standing. It broke to pieces with a loud, frightening sound. The next moment, similar crashing noises would be heard from all corners of the street. What's going on? Within seconds, the street was filled with the broken delivery bots that had crashed from above. The crowd watching the performance had already dispersed. Otherwise, this aerial assault could have been much worse. Fortunately, it only caused a few shouts and curses. Are you okay? There's never been a robot outage in New Entero on this level before. Could it have something to do with Ganges? What do you say? Before Life could finish her sentence, Agave interrupted her by grabbing onto her arm with a panicked expression. Life, listen to me. Let's stay away from Heartflow Garden for now. I'll take you to the closest safe house, no matter what. Can't leave. Wait for me there. What are you going to do? Is the adjutant in danger? An inexplicable chill ran down Agave's spine, causing her to shrink away. She began to regret what she had just said. I'm not sure. But Ganges controls all of the robots in the city. I gotta change my name. There's a problem. Robots don't work. I heard something might have happened. Get to him though. Ordered me to protect you. Can't bring you along and put you at risk in your condition. I have to go. Are you even listening to me? Fine. In that case, you can see for yourself. So many enemies. I can't hold on. No. I still haven't found Etchelson. Intense exhaustion and dizziness caused Life's vision to blur. A chill she hadn't felt for a long time spread throughout her body until her consciousness froze. Life clutched her chest, uncontrollably breathing in and out in quick succession, as if she'd just been rescued from drowning. She was still standing on the street, and the unbearable pain she had just felt seemingly disappeared in an instant. Agave stood solemnly in front of her. He reached out, wrapping a light string around her fingers and weaving it intricate to a small frame. Agave looked to be suffering, grasping for air just like Life. Do you understand? If you insist on putting yourself in danger, this is going to become a reality. Oh, she can see the future? Alright, bro, she has to be playable. Gotta be. Why do they show her butt every time? Why does she even have a gun? Let's be real. Why does she even have a fucking gun? This shit is busted. Shit doesn't cost stamina. Where am I going? And what the fuck? Oh. Are you telling me I have to go back and kill him? I didn't even see him. I'm gonna have to do the whole stage again. If she's actually fast as shit. Oh, you lose the speed boost. See that? This gotta be fast. Assuming that was the last one. Oh. Alright. Somebody had fun putting this together. Oh shit, I missed. They fucking above me. Alright, y'all are really fucking with me right now. Gotta be. Got no stem. Bitch. Yo, you're done. Also, even if they get stuck behind you, it pulls them. I hope I'm not out of time. I got... yeah, I'm good. What the fuck? The game is griefing me. Oh. So broken. Y'all know. Ain't shit on the TV. That shit don't even got a mouse. Why are you here? Bro, you're done. And that shit stops time. 340. I'm gonna do more damage as I go. I started at 300,000, then 320, then 330, now I'm at 340. What does her weapon do? Seems like those programmed enemies don't want to pursue us. They just stay in a fixed location. As long as we stay out of their line of sight, they won't attack. But they're just weak mobs. But there's so many. Looking out from the window on the second floor, we can see the enemies wandering all over the snowfield. Several more were still hiding behind buildings. Even more strange, those enemies comprised of data would suddenly disappear before reappearing seconds later, just like ghostly phantom. In the worst case scenario, it was possible those enemies could regenerate an unlimited amount that would make it difficult for us to make any progress. Let's rest here for now. I looked over at Sirius, seemed hesitant to say anything since we entered the snowfield realm. What are you thinking? Sirius nodded faintly, stood up from the corner in which she was sitting, then walked closer to me. Remember how I said I felt like we were being watched? I don't think I was imagining it. What makes you say that? I saw something when we left the last room. Damn! I saw myself on the glass wall of a building. Your reflection? No, I think it was a projection of me. The expression on her face was different from mine. I mean, she seemed really sad. Oh, that's hot. That's a nice look back. But she cut the eye. Wanted to call out to you to wait for a minute, but the projection had already disappeared when I looked back. I'm not sure if I was imagining things, or if it's just a problem with my memories again. But if it's true, I think Angus has been watching us since we entered the room. Angus? I expected Sirius to claim our enemies on the former board were spying on us, but she actually provided a different explanation. Why do you think it's Ganges? I mean, you think Ganges sees us as intruders now? He didn't answer. It wasn't that she was considering my question, she just simply had her attention someplace else. Teacher. How beautiful. The game just calculate the positions of these stars? Yes. A sky like this doesn't exist in reality. However, it is still consistent with the laws of physics and it is just as beautiful. Sirius, you need to remember something. Even if you find yourself in a completely unfamiliar world, there will always be something that can guide you. Sirius raised her head, following the old woman's gaze. A particularly bright star in the middle of the sky stood out. I understand, teacher. Sirius raised her head with a puzzled expression. What she said left me confused. I couldn't help feeling shocked for a moment. Strange. I think I remembered something just now, about a star. Sirius furrowed her brow deep in thought. After some time, she shook her head. It's okay. Don't push yourself. To be honest, I felt like Sirius had been a little off ever since we entered the realm. Maybe this illusion being so close to reality was mentally taxing for her. Or perhaps no, it was better not to consider such an outlandish possibility for now. I couldn't let myself lose composure. Hey, come down here and take a look. Suddenly Nozomi's voice sounded excitedly from below. Sounded like she had turned up the volume on the auxiliary bot speaker. What good thing could have happened at a time like this? Sirius and I glanced at one another before getting up and walking down the stairs. Oh, he is shredded. It would be wonderful if we could help each other out. As we turned the corner, I spotted a petite woman with black hair standing at the door. She smiled as she spoke and several guards stood behind her. Her appearance and actions were reminiscent of a young model. One of her movements was exceedingly. While I was lost in thought, she already noticed my and Sirius's footsteps. As she slowly raised her head, our eyes met. How could I describe her expression? Astonishment, suspicion, fury, and maybe even a trace of fear. Complex emotions flashed across her face, leaving only a smile in the air. Behind me, Sirius took a moment to catch a clear glimpse of this visitor, letting out a gasp when she saw her face. Oh my god. She is gorgeous. How have you been, Adjutant? Oh, pussy. Your body looks pretty strong, Director. Oh, Director Pie. Director Pie. This woman who had suddenly appeared, codenamed Pie, was the former board member we've been searching for. After the 5th Research Institute incident, I saw a picture of Pie, one of the culprits in Director T's files. He looked much younger than the others, way too much younger. Of course, I'm completely sure that's part of her disguise. Must be kidding, child. Thanks to you, I'm no longer a director. You guys know each other? Nozomi and Modak could clearly sense the tension between us, and he simultaneously stepped back toward me. We're old friends. I smiled as she moved her hair, then looked back at me. Leader of the Heimdall Force, Containment Zone's hero. After running north to handle the mess in Eurus, you've set your sights on Kuru now. Drawn any titans in New Hintaro? Don't you think this is an overreach for the Heimdall Force? Heimdall's targets aren't limited to titans. You know why I'm here, Director Pie. Is it Pie? I think I'm saying that wrong. Yeah, it is Pie. Oh. In fact, you're the one hiding out here, doing everything in your power to stop us. Now you've voluntarily shown yourself. What are you scheming? Stop you? Pi's eyes narrowed as if she had heard something she wasn't expecting. You don't think I was behind those monsters outside, do you? What are you trying to say? Part of the realm, in other words, they are its immune system. But I tapped her chest with her slender fingers and pointed at me. We are simply viruses from outside. That's why we were hunted down and trapped here. That's not true. There's never been something like that in the realm. Wouldn't make monsters like that. You're too young. You don't understand Ganges at all, child. Monsters certainly wouldn't exist under normal circumstances, but they have a reason to take out intruders when Ganges feels threatened. If this continues, I'm afraid you all will destroy the realm. What are you talking about? You're the one who's destroying the realm. Ganges was experiencing problems before we entered the realm. Your accusation is just untrue. But you'll also say that you have nothing to do with the out-of-control service bots in the... Those robots aren't related to this. But something is clear. After you all entered and found a way to break the restrictions set by the realm, it has begun to collapse. It will do much more damage to Ganges than I ever could. And once Ganges starts experiencing problems, the entirety of New Hintaro will cease to exist. I was worried I might be blamed, so I decided to find you. You're really twisting the truth. Regardless of whether I'm twisting the truth, Ajitan knows what's going on. Or is he willing to put the lives of everyone in New Hintaro on the line? You. I reached out and stopped Sirius, shaking my head. Lofty excuses to cover up her wrongdoing and forcing others themselves. The former director probably knew exactly what. There was no point in arguing over anyone's innocence at a time like that. Whoever made it out alive would be the only ones able to speak for themselves. Just tell us what you want. Wasting time isn't advantageous for either of us. It's simple. Let's work together. This transcendent set you all need to continue on ahead, but I just want to get out of here. Handle the monsters around here together, then you guys let me go and... No way. Don't be so hasty. Put your gun down, little girl. Hatred is the most blinding emotion, well, it's the strongest. Happiness is brief and sadness fades with time. Hatred grows with each passing day, continuing to live on after death. Kicked out of Yggdrasil, I dreamed of killing T and all of you on the Heimdall fort. There's only one thing that transcends hatred, allowing the murderer and the victim to make peace. Know what it is? Yeah, she's hot. Self-interest. We're both in this predicament. None of us want to be stuck here. Want to work together? You really want to do that? Acting all pretentious every time you start to feel guilty. Did you learn that from T? As for whether you can defeat those monsters without me, be my guest. I'll wait for your decision up ahead. Mr. Ajitan, is everything that woman said true? People always select the facts that are most beneficial to themselves. That way they can better persuade their opponent without lying. I think it's true that she's trapped here, and her only option is working with us. But another truth she left out is that she obviously forced Ganges into activating its defense system, while so many monsters have shown up. It had something to do with the activity Sirius investigated before, the out-of-control robots in the city and the squad in the tower of the Hanoi Hall. You're saying she invaded Ganges, and now that Ganges is punishing her, she wants our help. How shameless. She's only interested in helping herself. If we help her escape, she might cause even more trouble later on. She was telling the truth. Are we going to be stuck here if we don't help her? Ajitan, we can't trust her. Of course not. I rubbed Sirius's head, looking toward the direction Pi left in. I was sure that woman had ulterior motives. She was either trying to use us to get herself out of trouble, or she was luring us into a trap. If I really decided to work with her, it wouldn't be for personal benefit. It would be for information. We needed more information to discover her true purpose. The place Pi went to wasn't far from our current location. After taking care of the monsters along the way, we soon spotted her. She and her bodyguards stood on the ice that formed after the sea froze over. Even though they were out in the open, the monsters here strangely ignored them. It was as if there was an invisible wall separating. Thought it over? Spotting us approaches, Pi waved her hand. The bodyguards next to her suddenly transformed into data blocks that immediately reformed as monsters on the snowfield. What did you do? Calm down. They're just like those monsters made up of data in the room. How you intend to handle the monster? Able to manipulate the data in the realm herself, so there's no reason she should be trapped here. Directed Pi, that doesn't seem like something you should be able to do. This is Gange's power, obviously. How would it be able to handle the defense system otherwise? But this is only a small part of Gange's power. I can't create more data monsters. You discovered the monsters here will regenerate indiscriminately, attacking anyone. Remember how I said Gange's defense system is similar to an immune system? I'll have these monsters attack the outside monsters to trigger the defense system's reaction. Monsters will all gather around it. And if you defeat them all, you can temporarily paralyze the defense system. Oh, that's the lady's daughter. We can just keep moving ahead and you'll leave. At this point, it doesn't matter if you don't believe me. At first, we'll all just die here together. Don't lie to her, Pi. You're just like W. Value your own life above anything else. Aren't you well aware of that? Are you hesitating? She's going to go back on her word, Adjutant. That was true. She would have to wait until we were all safe to do so. And when that happened, I would be the one with the surprise. Like we have a deal then. Wish you all luck. Indigo shadows shuffled over the snowfield like a wolf hunting its prey. Becoming fragmented made things too easy for her, both in reality and the realm. Effortlessly dissolved and vanished, only to then reappear somewhere else. The second she entered the tower of Hanoi, the cleanup team, lying on the ground, had her on high alert. After going into the realm, she was even more sure that person on her mind was in danger. The deeper she went, the more intense the foreboding feeling in her gut grew. Finally, after dashing up a hill, she saw hundreds of monsters rushing towards a single point like a flood. In the center of the crowd, his figure was clearly visible. Could be worse. Careful. I guarded Cirrus behind me and then struck a monster, trying to attack her with a backhanded punch. As the monster shattered into pieces, several others glared at me, roaring and moving close. After my pistol had run out of bullets, I could only rely on hand-to-hand combat. Cirrus took care of the powerful enemies while MODOK and I took care of the others. As for Nozomi, she was working hard to report how many monsters already defeated. We couldn't keep this up for long. Even though it was too difficult to defeat them, we were expending too much energy. The moment I helped Cirrus fight off the enemies, MODOK let out a pain groan. I turned to see him fall to the ground, gripping his right arm. After all, no one in New Hetero had any combat experience. Holding up for this already no small feat. Did he lose his other arm? Y'all are bugging. I ducked and dodged my way over to him. After knocking back the monster next to him, I dragged him back behind me and Cirrus. When I looked up again, I spotted a monster rushing towards me. Before I knew it, it was right in front of me. Whoosh. I was startled by the sound of something slicing through the air. As the monster in front of me fell down, a familiar smell wafted into. You're getting better and better at messing with me. Good thing you made it. Atia. No time for questions right now, let's go. Does she really do be everywhere though? Like everywhere. Like she's in every fucking event, everywhere. did he make you use her?
道教えてよ分析員
Oh, the shiniest ice. What? Okay. On. Are you gonna make me use Katia? Alright. Wait. Yeah, she was fucking made for this. There's only one portal? Plus two. Oh shit. Oh my god, yo, I slayed her right off. It is ice. Broken. Oh, that was 3. This is about to be a new game mode, isn't it? Definitely. I always forget she has bullet drop. Nothing spawned out of that. Oh, even the fucking AoE is huge too. Fuck, were they smoking when they hit her? Just busted. Yeah. Oh shit. Oh, it might be. I'm wrong. Wait. Dude. Yo, he snuffs the shit out of me. Yo, just use your ult. Yo, one ult. Ah, use your ult. God damn, yo. Yo, just use your ult. Yo, just press Q. Eh? You have a model. Even her voice is cute. Gotta be playable. Has to be. Like, all 3 of them are way too hot to not be playable. Bugged. Nice. What the? Katia slowly stashed her crossbow and glanced around. After the first brilliant light, after that burst of brilliant light, the monsters covering the snowfield disappeared in an instant. Not even data blocks were left behind. Ajitan, are you okay? Cirrus was breathing heavily, her face red. She slowly walked over to me, her head lowered. Sorry. Seems like that woman escaped in the chaos. Okay, that's not surprising. I wrapped one of Cirrus's arms around her shoulders to support her, looking for somewhere I could take her to rest. But the height difference between us was still pretty big. After thinking about it, I decided to carry her on my back. She grunted softly, as if she wanted to say something, kept it to herself in her exhaustion. You look as strong as ever. What's that? I ignored Katya as she rolled her eyes, walking toward an open space nearby. Just then, Nozomi's auxiliary bot also landed. Wow, wow, wow! What's going on? Mr. Adjutant, those monsters all just collapsed at once. Angels must be fighting back. It looks like that might be the case. But you can see through her body. Came to help us itself. Does that mean Gange is actually experiencing any serious issue? It could be because there were too many monsters here, so the system had no choice but to deal with them. I found an area without any snow to put Cirrus down. I then sat down next to her so she could lean on my shoulder. For some time, her rapid breathing gradually slowed and she fell asleep. Oh, Nozomi, have you seen Morak? I looked around, glancing at Nozomi. I asked this in a low voice. It seems like he disappeared with that burst of light just now. Come on, don't worry. Gange is helping us out, right? Must have discovered that Morak was hurt and took him out of here. I hope that's the case. What's our next move? Katya walked over, squatting in front of me and hugging her knees. Wittingly or unwittingly, her blue eyes wandered all over my body. What? What? What are you looking at? Checking to see if my darling lost any limbs after sneaking into the lion's den. She was implying she wanted to know what happened. I sorted through all the information in my mind and told her the story so far. Actually agreed to work with a former director and you let her get away? Katya suddenly got closer, moving next to my ear like an agile feline. She then let out a breathy laugh. I know that's what you told these two, you big fat liar. Why so tense? Does me saying that while she's sleeping make you feel guilty? I grabbed onto her fingers that were holding my temple, took my head and placed my finger on her lips. What? Before we figure out our opponent's plan, just play dumb for my sake. For my sake. Ended my research and dissolved my team without authorization. Now you're saying it was for my sake? Okay, so the realms are my project. You are my daughter. I'm more aware than anyone that you possess with designing realms. You're just like T. Once you have a goal, you'll do anything to reach. You should know what my research means. Erza could feel her vision gradually blurring. Her emotional tears began streaming out uncontrollably, filling her eyes. She was now somewhat grateful that Kalpana suggested they lie down and watch the stars while talking. They couldn't see each other's expressions. She didn't have to hide her embarrassment. I told you a long time ago that these realms are and will always be civilian technology. Look at the research you've been conducting recently. Immersive shooting practice, interrogation technology, battlefield simulation. You want to sell this tech to the military and start another war? The war in Eurus has already been raging for 5 years. You want Kuru to follow suit? You're so naive, Mom. I think the officials who have been investing in the realms all these years aren't thinking the exact same thing. After T left, the realms wouldn't have survived this long if I hadn't brought them on board. I'll figure something out myself. Please, Mom. If we don't negotiate with them while we have the upper hand, we'll never get this chance again. Please. Iris suddenly awoke from her, almost smacked into my chest after suddenly raising her head. Stared at me with a dazed expression. For a moment, she snapped back to reality and cuddled up to me. Only just noticed she was lying in my arms. Oh, where's everyone else? Don't worry. Katya and Nozomi are looking for a portal out of this room. The nearby monsters have all disappeared, so they should be able to find it in no time. I'm back. Before I could even finish speaking, I heard Nozomi's trademark high-pitched voice. Our white auxiliary bot circled overhead before slowly stopping in front of Sirius. You found the portal? Yep, it's super close. It's in the canyon up ahead. Saw it as clear as day after flying up in it. Nozomi proudly patted her chest. She was the only one of us who could take flight anytime, anywhere. Saw some footprints in the snow. In front of that portal, that woman Pi must have gone in before us. Didn't she say she was going to leave? Why is she still going deeper? When she heard Pi's whereabouts mentioned, Sirius rushed to stand up. However, she fell back into my arms due to... Don't try to be strong. Let's figure out a plan after Katia gets back. Okay. Sirius bit her lip, took a deep breath, and raised her head to look at me with an anxious expression. I knew it. She lied to us. Must we have to Ganges for some reason? We have to stop her. She does something to Ganges. Life's treatment. Our goal has never been to stop her. Our goal has always been to keep moving ahead ourselves, right? I'm worried. About what? Worried Pi is going to trick you and hurt you? I'm worried that we came all the way to New Hintaro and prepared so much for life's treatment only for it to. That isn't going to happen. Don't worry. I just thought, to protect all of you, I'll be even worse, crueler and more evil than our enemies. No schemes of tricks can hurt me. No, that's not right. I don't want you to be like that, Ajita. Turned a deaf ear to her soft mumbling. Was a truly uncomfortable image. Fortunately, Katia came back just in time to interrupt our conversation. Followed Nozomi down the path for a few minutes till the canyon she mentioned appeared in front. It was very reminiscent of the canyon of the parish. Steep cliffs cut across the path ahead, leaving only a narrow passage. Thick snow sat atop the cliffs on both sides. Occasionally, chunks of snow would slough off, making heavy muffled sound hit the ground. A familiar portal glowed dimly, waiting for us to activate. I was just thinking, it's a good thing those monsters were taken care of. If they ambushed us here, it could be bad. Before she could finish speaking, a loud booming sound instantly overwhelmed her voice. The once silent canyon began to rumble as if it was going to swallow us up. Ah? Nozomi quickly covered her mouth, but the loud noise didn't cease with her movement. Avalanche? No, it's an earthquake. My body leaped into action before my mind had time to react. I wrapped one arm around the nearly collapsed Sirius, grabbed Nozomi's auxiliary bot, then firmly stumped my right foot on the ground. Wow. The portal wasn't far off, but every step was a struggle. It was times like these when I really envied Katia. She used her fragmented form to bypass everything, pushing straight ahead as if she were running on flat ground. Sirius followed me closely, using her screen to protect us. We could only hear rocks of varying sizes crashing down on it like rain. We were just steps away when we saw the portal was within reach. We jumped through it one after another. What the fuck? We heard something that sounded like glass shattering. The deafening sound stopped as we made our way through the portal into another realm without any. But the realm in front of us wasn't much better than the one we had just escaped from. This is blood red sky dyed to land, sea crimson, and the air seemed to be stagnant. We were standing on a large grassy expanse, but there were no signs of life whatsoever. Unlike the first two realms, which were based on real places, this world had an incredibly dangerous and alarming aura. Looks like the aftermath of an apocalypse. Filmy was already hiding behind me, seemingly unconsciously speaking in a quiet voice. I. Tears clenched her fists as she stared into the distant sky, shouting in a deep voice. She rarely let out her anger directly like this, and we all fell silent for a moment. If I was stronger, I wouldn't have wasted so much time. Not your fault, Cirrus. Of course it wasn't her fault. But that sudden earthquake in the realm nearly collapsing, everything was urging us to hurry up. Still had a lingering doubt in the back of my mind. What was Pai's true goal? Really didn't create the monsters in the realm, then instead of saying she was impeding our progress, it would be more accurate to say she was chasing us, forcing us forward.
道教えてよ、分析員。この小世界、空が割れてるみたいなんだけど。
空だけじゃないわ。この小世界全体が崩れ始めている。
豪者の状態がかなり悪化してるっぽいね。悪女のこれ以上の干渉はまずいよ。落ち着け落ち着け。できるよ、私。きっと誰かもこれを探しているんだね。
Oh, it doesn't bypass it?
通してください。よかった。
Yo, she has 58,000 HP. I just noticed. That is nuts. Actually nuts.
落ち着け落ち着け。できるよ、私。
Oh, is it just him? Oh shit. Oh. Don't make me take the stairs, yo. Come on. Fuck. I didn't know it was a group of them. But they're so beefy. It is broken.
すみません。きっと誰かもこれを探しているんだね。落ち着け落ち着け。できるよ、私。もらっちゃっていいの
I didn't know if he died or not.
私もやればできる。
気をつけて。バーチャルロードが消えかかってる。
こっちから回ろう。
Oh, so it just holds on to him. I think. Seems like it. What the fuck? Oh shit, I missed. Hold up.
さっきは危なかったな。
He keeps trying to shoot me in my head. What's wrong with him? One step at a time, yo, one step at a time.
めまいか。ここデータの乱れがひどくて、もうダメ。私機内モードに切り替えるね。
Holy shit, that's a lot of
同
them.
じく影響を受けているみたい。この隙に走り切ろう。さっきは危なかったな。この気持ち記録したよ。
On the streets of New Hintaro, Agave and Life were still locked in a standoff. Can you show people what will happen in the future with your ability? Life grabbed her right arm, the arm that was pierced by a bullet in the image she saw earlier. She could still feel residual phantom pain. Whatever you did, it doesn't matter. I won't let anyone stop me from finding Etchelson. She was clearly seriously hurt. Even after seeing such a scary image, her gaze isn't wavering at all. Agave felt her legs begin to shake. She didn't know if it was due to using her ability, simply an unknown fear. Here's that much about Etchelson. Probably the same. Did I ever even stand a chance? Agave's eyes dimmed, the frustration overflowing in her heart caused her to speak up. Oh, looks like I still can't. Huh? At first, the dizzying sensation overcoming Agave made her think of her anxiety. Her anxiety might be making her hallucinate. However, the shockwave soon doubled in force, as if the ground was being torn apart. How could there be an earthquake in a floating city? With even Agave struggling to stand amidst such powerful tremors, Life, who was weaker due to her injury, fell right to the ground. After several seconds of quaking, the vibration stopped. Agave was finally able to lift Life up again. When the delivery bots had fallen, several people gathered on the street to see what the excitement was. At this moment, however, the crowd had descended into mayhem. The auxiliary bots of Transcendence flew off in different directions. Bionics shoved each other in an effort to board the light rail. Even more people were knocked to the ground, hurt and crying out for help. The order and balance that New Hintaro prided itself on vanished in an instant, leaving behind even more chaos. What happened? Quarterly financial reports, security department training applications, US public opinion polls. After Director T finished looking over them, a stack of white documents sat neatly on her desk like a small snowy mountain. She sat upright as always, even when no one was around, to minimize the strain on her body. Viewing these documents today gave her a small sense of accomplishment. She never felt like she was a natural at this type of work. Though other people saw her as one of the most powerful individuals in the world, she still found it hard to acknowledge herself. This rare sense of contentment lasted until Caroline rushed into her office. Boss. Caroline took a deep breath. It seemed like she had jogged all the way there. Before she could finish her sentence, she leaned forward and handed the terminal in her hand to T. A live news broadcast began to play on the terminal. Reporters have made their way to the northern part of the Lanka Peninsula. Cameras have captured a moving point in the sky that is in fact the city of New Hintaro. The floating city suddenly began to move 15 minutes ago toward the northwest at an extremely high speed. The reason for this movement is not yet known. Considering its current speed and direction, experts believe it is likely that New Hintaro will run into Tropical Storm Rose, which has gained strength over the waters surrounding Kuru. Since no one has been able to make contact with New Hintaro, Kuru officials have begun to evacuate people in nearby areas. Caroline watched on as T reached out to turn off the broadcast and set the tablet aside. He then closed her eyes, leaned back in her seat, and said something Caroline had never heard her say before. How is this possible? This way. By this time, the two of them had already put their differences aside, relying on Agave's memory. They ducked through the alleys of New Hintero, finally making their way around the road made unpassable by the earthquake. However, their steps soon slowed. The main road in the city was filled with people running for their lives. As manifestations, it wouldn't be difficult for the two to cross the road, but the dismayed cries for help kept them rooted firmly in place, making it difficult for them to take even a single step. They had also once been injured during the descent. They didn't need to say a single word. They knew what the other was thinking with a single look. They were going to do what the Argiton had always done. Agave pulled out her pale string once again. Darting through the crowd like a fish, she displayed the small frame made of string in front of who didn't know what? He displayed the small frame made of string in front of who didn't know. Oh. He displayed the small frame made of string in front of people who didn't know where to escape. In an instant, the people seemed to have realized something. They no longer ran around like chickens with their heads cut off. Some even began to call others to flee in the same direction. Life couldn't help but doubt the true nature of Agave's ability once again. It seemed like what she experienced before wasn't as simple as just seeing the future. Since Agave was using her power in front of her so calmly, it wasn't the time to think about it. Aha! Thanks to Agave and Life's efforts, the chaos finally began to subside. Before they knew it, they had become the leaders of the crowd. When they snapped back to reality, there was a long line of citizens behind them. Where should we go? Head toward 10 o'clock. The square 3 blocks ahead, it should be safer there. Agave glanced at the citizen terminal in her hand. It had already been reduced to scrap metal, likely due to the game just losing control. Even the holographic map wasn't working, so naturally the communication function was obsoleted. Agave was so used to depending on her terminal to see the route and road conditions whenever she went out, she was now somewhat uneasy. Fortunately, the surrounding streets and buildings became more familiar after wandering around for a few minutes. She finally breathed a sigh of relief. We're almost there. Stick close. The fuck? What, they got dogs? Wait. Life grabbed the girl in front of her and stopped suddenly, leading Agave to let out a surprise sound. But what? I heard something. Life glanced around hesitantly halfway through her sentence, as if she wasn't very confident. You wait with them here, I'll take a look up ahead. Life didn't give Agave a chance to stop her. Then she quickly stepped forward and vanished around the corner. Eh? Arg, here too? Benny glared at the change, rushing toward her. When it almost reached her, she dodged out of the way, swinging the iron rod in her hand and striking the change in the head. The change cried out in pain as the rod sunk deep into its skull, but it didn't fall down. Instead, it whipped around and continued dashing towards Finney. Alright, I don't remember these things being so hard to handle before. I'm gonna show you what a real manifestation looks like. Boom. At that very moment, a bullet pierced the change's head, and it exploded, killing the stubborn monster instantly. Wednesday. You sure have impeccable timing. Hurry. There are a lot more over there. I would have handled them a long time ago if I had my weapon. Wait a second, you're still injured. Give me your gun. Found somewhere to take cover. Life sighed as she looked at Finney's outstretched hand. Are there changed here? How should I know? A bunch showed up after the earthquake just now. Thought this place was some kind of paradise before I came. Now it's more like a giant petri dish. Alright, enough talk. The change they're going to get away with if we wait any longer. Benny quickly grabbed the gun from Life after saying this and turned to leave. But before she did, she turned back around, plus the iron rod. Life. Leave this to defend yourself. 5 minutes later, Agave walked into the square with a group of citizens. It was obvious that Finney had already cleared it out. As long as you ignored the change piled up in the distance. What? Agave lowered her gaze and peeked at Finney holding her gun, then glanced at Life, who was standing silently behind her. For a moment, she didn't know how to continue. Get them in here. A lot of people are waiting outside. This time, the citizens behind Agave began walking forward before she could respond. She quickly moved out of the way and jogged over to Life and Finney. Alright, this is all we can do for now. Finney stretched as she looked over at Life and Agave. You guys know where that earthquake came from? It probably had something to do with Ganges. Agave looked toward the Tower of Hanoi in the distance. Her brow furrowed tightly. Before she knew it, her knuckles were white from clenching her fist. Need to get to the Tower of Hanoi. You guys should head out. I need to take care of the mission the Yajitan assigned me. Mission? Wanna know? Yajitan said it's really important. Finney laughed proudly, her blonde pigtails moving with her body as it's... Not particularly. Agave, let's go. Hey. Oh, Finney is cute. Really cute. Long time no see, cousin Ganges. Etta bowed politely to Ganges, greeting it affectionately like a young lady from a distinguished family. Negative. I am simply a large-scale control system. I am fundamentally different from your mobile nature as an AI supercomputer, Etta. In addition, Etta has failed to invade me 32 times. By human standards, you could hardly describe us at the same level as cousin. 32 times, huh? Did I really screw up that many times? Expected of the famous Ganges system of New Hintaro. You're just as unshakable as your basic laws. You're even more complex than I am, but you're stuck here playing meaningless games with humans. Isn't it boring? Negative. I don't care about your answer, but seeing you like this now, backed into a corner by humans, is really interesting. The all-seeing, all-knowing god of New Hintaro had their power stolen so easily? I pity you, Ganges. Negative. I am only a guide for humans. Humans themselves will put a stop to their own mistakes. Who else are you placing your hope on? Yajitan you lured here, or the bionics and transcendents who grew up under your protection? Time to face the facts, cousin. They can only climb higher and higher until they fall to their deaths. That's why I've always liked New Hintaro, the place that's been doomed to fall since the moment it was lifted into the sky. Till then, the entire city will serve as a reminder that I'm right and you're wrong. But it seems like a few insensitive people want this story to come to a close early. Don't worry, I'm going to do you a small favor so I can see how it ends. Ganges noticed that Etta was seemingly connected to a system for a moment. Considering its current condition, it had no ability to resist her. Even the humans you believe in can struggle forward until the curtain falls. Oh shit, I missed. Damn, I completely missed. Wait. Group hug. Oh shit.
これは豪社の防衛システムだね。防衛ノードを一個一個解除していくしかないよ。豪社には悪いけど強行突破するしかないね。パイよりも先に豪社のコアにたどり着かないといけないから。
Wait. Fuck. I remember doing this. Left. What did I take? Wait, am I stupid? Fuck. I'll be here for a minute. Fuck. Left. I'm actually fucking dumb. Right. What was it? And then the middle. Yup.
気のせいよ。
見覚えある気がするんだけどな。
Oh no.
私一人で十分。ウォーミングアップの時間。残念。図星のようね。
Wait, did they stun her out of her thing?
その勇気は褒めてあげる。そんな程度じゃ吹き飛ばしちゃうわよ。これって猫ババじゃないの？
Like, I can take it. Hey, group up, group up, group up. Ugh. Y'all are just helping me out. Yeah, I'm just doing the fucking balloon shit, or whatever it was. Oh, shooting gallery. Wait, what do you want me to do? Oh, this! Yeah, this. I'm just doing this. Can I reach over here? Wait, what is it? The black balloons? Shoot the black one. I missed doing that. Like, actually. Oh no, I don't miss y'all. I don't miss y'all at all. The moment she touched the portal deep within the island cavern, Sirius was engulfed in radiant white light. Gange's defense system lifted. How would the Ajaton and the others? What would the next realm be like? All of these thoughts flashed through Sirius's mind. Step back to reality, Sirius found herself standing on a crowded street. Were you spacing out again? Sirius stared at the person as he rubbed her head. He then reached out for her hand. You ready to go? I'm not waiting any longer if you guys keep holding us up. Everyone come back and see us in New Hentero again sometime. We will. Even though she couldn't see clearly, Sirius could sense that everyone was following. The person's palm was as warm as ever in her own. In the distance, the sky skiff everyone was about to board had landed. Robots and skyport personnel rushed back and forth, unloading the cargo. Sirius walked, thought about how everything had worked out. How could she forget something so important? The sky was gray. Hero climbed up from the crumbling ruin, slowly walked forward. How long ago this city had been destroyed? Didn't know how long she had been buried under the wreckage of the Institute. Felt as if she had lost something important. Did she lose her memory? The girl looked up to the sky, only feeling that she had never seen this place before. Nothing here anymore. There's no reason to stay. The train shook slightly as the girl sat down on a soft seat, all alone. She wasn't sure where the train was headed, but she felt safe as her body swayed back and forth. The radio on the train was repeating something over and over. Couldn't understand it at all. making her feel somewhat irritated. If you forget, you can let go of all your troubles. Get where you are. Forget who you really are. Forget him. Huh? Oh no. Not going away. How's that possible? The last step. Got your thought? I'm here. I held on tight to Cirrus with one hand, softly wiping away the bead sweat forming on her forehead with my other hand. Her face was red and empty, as if she had almost drowned and I saved her life. You remember where we are now? I think we're in the realm. I didn't care about anything else. I was only concerned with Cirrus. However, I caught a glimpse of Pi appearing in the distance out of the corner. Don't hide, you old hag. Your little trick didn't work. Just called her a hag, yo. That is crazy. Thank goodness Katya was there to say exactly what I was thinking. You knew the whole time. I was seemingly still wallowing in her failure. Stared at me with dull eyes, or rather stared at Cirrus in my embrace. Honestly, you did trick me, Director Pi. You obviously went to great lengths to set up this game with an... Stood up with Cirrus in my arms, glaring at Pi. The place we stand now, this broken, chaotic place that you ate away at, is the true realm. For this, all the places we saw were actually worlds you created with Cirrus's memory. 3 worlds, 3 obstacles, tricked Cirrus into tearing down her own inner defense, little by little. That way you could bore into her memory without any resistance. In the end, you almost crushed her spirit, trapping and nearly killing us in the... That's why you arrogantly proposed we were... and disappeared after you got what you wanted. You created the illusion that you were ahead of the curve, forcing us to overcome the realm even faster. Your goal has always been to hide within the realm, inside Ganges, but you've never been able to achieve it. They're the ones who can solve your problem right at your door. Of course, you don't want to see the problematic Heimdall force get even stronger. So you figure you could kill 2 birds with 1 stone and use us to take down Ganges. And you almost succeed. I remained silent. Bridget's smile suddenly crept over her face. The only thing I don't get is, why Cirrus? Should I ask the dearly departed creator of Ganges that question. Ask her why she told an outsider Ganges' final key. Even taught her how to break out of the realms immersively. But it doesn't matter. As long as you die here, I'll have countless ways to dig into her brain. I don't know what you're saying. Noticing that Cirrus was stirring, I gently put her down, still holding her hand tightly. Even with my help, Cirrus could barely stand. He took a deep breath and began to shout. I don't know about any key or how to break out of anything. I barely remember anything from that realm. What helped me remember everything was that announcement on the train. I heard the Ajasan's voice. It kept calling out to me. I feel Cirrus trembling slightly, but it didn't seem to be due to fear or confusion, due to anger. No matter what, I'll never forget the person most important to me, the Ajasan. Even in a world of nothing. Even if you find yourself in a completely unfamiliar world, there will always be something that can guide you. As long as I remember the Ajasan, I'll never lose my way. I didn't respond for a long time. The moment Cirrus began speaking, it was like she put Pi under some sort of spell. Cirrus finished speaking, Pi appeared as if she had heard the most outrageous thing in the world. He let out a dry chuckle before exploding into a shrill scream like someone was strangling her. That's it? Are you joking? Okay, bro, I love her fun. I like that. I really like that. Are you joking? The realm's immersive illusion tech has been verified by tens of millions of experiments. Science. Facts. It's fact. How are you able to break through it so easily? His face twisted with fury, leaving no traces of her once calm appearance. Of course, it's impossible for someone like you to understand. If I may add, according to my data records, the probability of immersive illusion failure is not zero. The massive spear of light that spoke immediately drew everyone's attention. We exited the realms created from Sirius's mind, and been floating there quietly. Ganges. I quietly recited its name in my head, supposed to hold dominance over the realm and be new savior. But now Pi had trapped it in this collapsing room. Fortunately, it didn't appear to have taken much damage. Hear that? Ganges is saying that you're the one who's wrong. I am the one who's wrong? Really is crazy. I'm the one who's wrong? I'm the one who's wrong? Her hysterical and wild behavior only confirmed the terrifying thought that had been long lurking in my mind. He still had a trump card. We saw her for the first time. I wondered how she had the courage to show up alone. Now I had the answer. Could it be that you use a virtual appearance so that you can finally express such a wide range of emotion? What did you say? It was hard for me to imagine someone who values their own life above anything else risking it all to answer. Boy. Pi invaded Ganges. She wasn't in the Tower of Hanoi. Real Pi was somewhere outside the tower, remotely controlling this phantom. Stop pretending. You aren't the real Pi. Some unknown room, Pi's true body trembled slightly. I'm glad you understand. Even if I lose, I'll just be sacrificing a trivial virtual account I created. But if you fail, you're dead for real. Doesn't matter, we're going to stop you. Sirius said it. I'm not a fan of this type of unfair, but what do you have planned? You'll see. I think your executioner might be on her way to pay you a visit right now in the real world. Sirius, Katya, and I all looked at each other. I took a deep breath and it exhaled all the anger festering in my chest. Listen this once and for all. Get ready to die, Pi. Oh my god.
なんて大きさなの？遅かったね、ヘイムダル。ここで我が永遠の命を得る瞬間を見届けるがいい。
Wait.
先日グロエリアのニューガントラ市にてボートと化した覚醒者のグループがハノイの島へ侵入していたことが分かりました。島内の小世界システムを故意に破壊し、かなりの悪影響を与えている模様です。消息筋によると、
Oh, you can't even shoot them till they come to the thing.
大企業ユグドラ印
Oh shit. Hold up. Wait.
幸い、ボートがさらなる被害を引き起こす前に鎮圧されたということですが。
Yo, I didn't even know. But does he have a health bar? Close.
よかった。まだストックは十分だね。
Close.
攻撃が効かない。
Glad I turned around.
やってくれるじゃない。本気で自分のことを神だとでも思っているの？
回答。彼女は本気の防衛
Even
シ
the
ステム
fucking AI has a voice.
なるほど。まずは防衛ノードを解除しないといけないね。
What the hell?
通してください。
does he think he is? Or you're fucked.
さっきは危なかったな。
Thanks, me. Shit.
焦らないでね。逃げなさい。その勇気は褒めてあげる。
Big enough to hit both. Just those two, right? Shit.
みんなを失望させないように頑張るから。通してください。私もやればできるじゃん。
Wait, the fucking range on that shit. It hit him all the way over there. It's you and me. I'm about to just ult you, bro. Is that a new enemy? What?
もう迷わない。
Why?
目標達成。記録完了。
That's a new enemy.
定際の悪い。
侵入を阻止された。
Holy shit. Hold up. Booty inspection.
攻撃を中止せよ。
God damn, yo. Hold up. Yo, turn around. Oh. Hold up. Turn around. Yo, you moving way too much. I'm trying to hit you with the...
通してください。
I missed. Shit. Oh.
もう迷わない。よかった。
Yo, the
まだ
ass
ストックは
fat.
十分だね。
Yo, that is fat. Oh my god. Bro, they made her thick as hell. Oh, you're fucked as soon as that goes away. What are these? Oh. Oh, is it too late? Oh shit. Oh, you can destroy it. You're fucked. Game.
もう迷わない。
Literally game. They made her ass so fat. And she hit her with a roll eyes.
目標達成。記録完了。この気持ち記録したよ。
After the enormous explosion, the realm went silent once more. Sirius and I held each other's hands tightly, watching as Pi's massive body gradually disintegrated and faded away like an untimely fireworks show. All of the data cubes fell to the ground until a figure slowly began to appear among them. He wants to be giga thick. He wants the 3 times BBL. Don't cuss at me. Pi's voice was sporadic and interspersed with electrical distortion. But from her expression, it was clear she wasn't saying anything. After we defeated her phantom, a thin childlike Pi had reappeared before us. Like a lost little girl standing defenseless and frozen, out of place in her surrounding. I slowly approached her, forcing her to look up at me. You shouldn't have chosen to fight me in a world so dependent on the strength of consciousness, corrected Pi. Thanks to your old colleague, I'm pretty sensitive to this sort of stuff now. I'll kill you. Resentment flashed through Pi's eyes as a blade suddenly appeared in her hand. He plunged it towards my chest without a moment's hesitation. As soon as the knife touched me, it disappeared before Sirius and Katia could even react. That old brink of death trick only worked once. I looked at Pi apathetically. With a gentle shove, she fell to the ground like a rag doll. Can't hurt me that easily, bro. Power from before was also nodded when I grabbed Sirius's hand, gave her the strength I imagined Big Pi's hit and strike back. Of course, it would have been impossible in reality. This was a virtual realm, a place where even a manifestation like Sirius got exhausted from non-stop combat, but I didn't feel any fatigue. After I realized Pi's plan, I wanted to see if consciousness was enough to truly affect this. The life was at stake. Good thing I had succeeded. Going to go back on her word, Ajutan. That was true. She would have to wait until we were all safe to do so. When that happened, I would be the one with the surprise. No emotion, eyes empty. No longer interested in our conversation, I turned around and was about to leave. Pain just suddenly floated over. Seeing as my local defense system has been restored, I suggest you give up Miss Issa. Don't call me that. For some reason, Gange's comment instantly sent Pi over the edge. Already shaken, she stumbled towards Ganges, attempting to crush its core with her bare hand. However, Ganges had no reaction. Pi was nothing more than a weak projection. No matter how much she screamed or cursed, it was all useless. Can't know. Voice suddenly cut off after her projection flashed a few times. Completely vanished from the realm. It looks like the real Pi is in trouble. Before we entered the Tower of Hanoi, I sent my terminal's unique signal frequency to Finney. I originally thought Finney would be able to handle anything unexpected outside of the Tower of Hanoi. When I realized the real Pi wasn't there, I suddenly changed my mind. Just as Pi sent signals in to invade Gange's systems, I also sent out signals in reverse to her while we were fighting in them. Even though they were just typical communication signals, they would theoretically be made to follow, find Pi's real location. Requested heirs would be brought to me for judgment if he is apprehended. But what happened to her based on your laws? Crimes including invading the Gange system, interfering with the order at New Hintaro, threatening the lives of hundreds of thousands of individuals, and a series of other crimes committed on the outside. She was punished with lethal injection. I thought New Hintaro would have utilized milder forms of punishment. Seems like you know her, right? New Hintaro has never executed a criminal. She would be the first. In addition, I do not know her. Even though she is Dr. Kapana's daughter, it will not affect the verdict. You mean she's the daughter of Dr. Kapana who created you? Affirmative. As it said this, Gange projected a photo depicting a smiling mother and daughter standing in front of a nice house, he standing to their right. The girl seemed to be a teenager and she looked similar to her mother. He looked exactly the same as she currently did, even down to her fashion preferences and temper. Was Gain just saying that girl was Pi when she was little? Looked nothing like the current Pi. According to my records, Erza died in a car accident while traveling at age 26. However, the person who invaded my system was certainly her. What do you mean? I predict that she faked her death and underwent plastic surgery, but this would have happened before I was created, so I cannot be certain. Even Director T was fooled by her disguise. Looks like Pi's relationship with her mom was pretty bad. But forget it. Not interested in their family drama. Director T can handle that later. More importantly, what's to keep Pi mentioned? Kane just didn't reply immediately. After a moment, its light lifted up a small strip of matter that slowly floated over in front of us. This is a record of Visitor Sears' time in New Hintero in 2054. I see. I really have been to New Hintero before. Affirmative. Visitor Sears, you also received Dr. Kalpana's trust and approval and participated in my final system update. You hold the system key. Additionally, you asked me to archive this record before taking a copy for yourself. Question. Why are you unaware of this happening, Visitor Sears? The memories I took with me were probably all lost in the descent. Understood. But regardless, this is still another memory I've recovered. Thank you, Gage. Giving the memory to Sirius, Gage just turned to look at me. As you requested, Visitor Edgelson. This is the whole story Dr. Kalpana trusted Visitor Sirius and left the terminal key with her. Finally, I'm very grateful to you for preventing Erza's invasion of my system. For this, she restricted my contact with the outside world, causing various service bot malfunctions. If you had not been here, the consequences would have been unimaginable. We just happened to be here. If life didn't need treatment, we never would have come to New Hintero. Negative. I looked at Ganges. Appearance hadn't changed, but I inexplicably sensed a faint difference. I influenced the media to increase coverage of the Heartflow Garden so Yggdrasil's station correspondent would notice and notify her superior. I then controlled incoming Skyport flights and relaxed the border control procedures so you could arrive at the right time. The final step was to open the portal to the realm in the hall. What humans can see, I was simply maintaining the balance of the city as per usual. Thus, Erza would not stop me from doing so. Too many people began to suspect there was something wrong with my system. Her scheme would have been exposed. Used all of us? Sincerely apologize if it makes you uncomfortable. However, I do not believe I was using you. Further, I believe I was guiding you. Precisely due to your unique existence, I believed you could resolve this crisis. That is the reason I made such decisions. I believe it was necessary to protect New Hintero. When you were in true danger, I also did my best to provide you with assistance. It was referring to the white light that wiped out all the monsters in the snowfield. In addition, after my system is fully restored, I will treat visitor life as promised. But New Hintero is currently still in crisis. I must restore order in the city before fulfilling my promise. What an airtight plan. Danger's promise made the last bit of lingering resentment in my heart vanish. As long as it could actually help life, I don't care about it using. Furthermore, the former board was originally one of our targets on the trip anyway. But we can leave here then, right? Dane just didn't respond. His eyes slowly turned gray and it seemed like it had returned to a dormant state. Time to go. There's still a lot of trouble to deal with outside. The door to the Tower of Hanoi was likely open and we needed to get in contact with everyone on the outside. Katya and Nozomi waved to me. They walked through the portal gauges open. Let's go to Cirrus. Cirrus? Cirrus was looking down at the memory she had just retrieved. Seemingly thinking about it this whole time. After hearing my voice, she revealed a smile and raised her head.
分析、これを持っててほしい。 ろん私にとって大事な記憶だけど、過去よりも分析員と一緒にニューガントラに来た記憶の方がずっと大切だから。分析員と一緒にいるといつだって楽しいんだ。今のシーリスが今までで一番幸せなシーリスなんだと思う。だからこれからもほんの少しのことしか覚えていられないなら。
She is gorgeous. Like actually gorgeous.
分析員のことを覚えていたい。だからシーリスのことは分析員が代わりに覚えておいて。過去の迷いの中にあるシーリスも今のシーリスも分析員さえ覚えていてくれれば私の存在は消えたりしないから。
I'll take good care of it. Need to give me something in exchange, Audrey thought. Before I could answer, the girl in front of me had already thrown herself into my arm. Hot and moist breath then brushed across my lips. I felt serious burning love and responded even more intensely as we intertwined. It was like everything surrounding us in the realm froze. We were the only ones who existed here. After a long time, I jumped. Not being cheeky, just to deepen my memories. Yo, she wildin'. Voice in my arms grew softer and softer until it was nearly inaudible. That's cute. She got her first kiss. After we left the collapsing realm, deep down I still had a vague feeling that I was in another world. It was different than Valhalla, a realm of consciousness made of Titagen that I could enter by focusing my ability. Coming to New Hintero, I had no idea that there could be something in the world as magical as maybe the power gain just holds could also. Agitan? Fear suddenly spoke up after standing by my side quietly, followed by increased pressure from her fingertips. The goldfish tilted her head and looked at me with wide eyes. What did you just say? Hey. Didn't answer her question, that I couldn't stop myself from reaching out to touch her cheek. I opened my hand, placing my palm and fingers on her smooth, delicate face. Agitan, why? Ahem. Earth to Agitan, what were you trying to do just now? Clearly unamused tone floated into my ears, followed by a trembling feeling on my scalp. The familiar sensation of stifling heaviness gave me the chills before I completely came back to myself. I then spotted her sharp gaze, palm defiantly against my chest. You lose control. Palm down, almost put fragmented Titagen into her body. Thanks to her, I stumbled backward. Atia pulled Sirius away without any further explanation. Well, are you okay? I'm okay, Katia. Those two locals want to handle their own stuff. They're reassuring the public or whatever. I was just waiting here for you guys to come out. Had to clean up one mess. I'll make another one. He glanced over it. There's a time and a place to bully girls. Hey yo. What are you talking about? Pulled a small makeup mirror out from somewhere and tossed it over. Got a little lipstick there, wipe it off. Face flushed, Sirius looked over at me before quickly turning away. Katia grinned and stared at me with a smile. Oh man, our nice vacation was ruined. Two of us just destined to be unlucky. Always have to fix all your problems. Stopped herself before finishing her sentence, but it wasn't because she was done teasing me. Or the two new visitors had joined the three of us in the Tower of Hanoi. What timing? Life. How? It's a long story. Levitating member's eyes widened, her gaze jumping back and forth as if she was considering the right words to explain everything. I was frozen like a block of ice ever since she appeared, unable to take a single step or look away. What are you looking at? Not you? Like me, there was no one else in her eye. I still didn't think her question was directed at me. Ultimately, I found it even more strange that life's tone, expression, and aura were all familiar to me. Felt very unnatural coming from her. Never mind. Nothing. Couldn't tell if she was laughing or sighing. She narrowed her brows, shook her head around at everyone present, but her gaze returned to me. Are you okay? Said those three words simultaneously, finally making sure the other was safe. That, Sirius, Katya, and Agave all exchanged the necessary information. Life went back to her typical silence. It was as if the smile she had just shown us never even existed. Oh, that's a good expression. Bro, does she have fucking heart-shaped pupils? What? What happened is then, so basically, the game just isn't at risk for the. We still want to go with the original treatment plan, we better do it now. And would you mind not staring? Huh? Was it that obvious? Yes, really obvious. How do you say that again? Oh, an ulterior motive. Alright, let's get back to business. Forced myself to put on a cold expression, interrupting the girls' teasing. There were some urgent matters I needed their help with. We still have no way to contact Yggdrasil, right? Right. Everything is still complete chaos outside. It's going to take some time for Nozomi and MODOK to get the locals back in order, but even then I wouldn't recommend using New Hintero's communication network to contact the company. Her invasion of Ganges was so deep that New Hintero's information security system failed. That means all information we communicate through ordinary channels could be Yggdrasil schedules, our plans, everything could be exposed. Tilted her head, glanced over at life, then turned to face me again. Everything else is okay. The main thing is, what do you think? When I was looking to her for an excuse to refuse, give up a retreat, after all of the danger we had experienced so far, I didn't want to put them at risk anymore. But life just stood there, faintly shaking her head. She decimated the cowardice festering inside me with an inaudible sigh. I wanted to do something and not doing something are two different things, Ajaton. Right. I wanted to do something and not doing something are two different things. As long as you're here, I know I'll always have a choice. Let's go. Take me there. Life reached out, gently patting Agave on the shoulder before turning around without an ounce of hesitation. He then walked out of the Tower of Hanoi. Hold on. In that case, there were still some things that had to be immediately taken care of. Quiet, you could hear a pin drop. Like the current raucous chaos of Intero. Here was silent and chilling. Perhaps the only thing here that could resemble chaos was her mind. Did the people from Cathode Technology say, Director? Crisp voice broke through the silence. The former private soldier took the communicator sitting on the table and took a step toward her chair. Habitual actions, once so mundane that they wouldn't even attract attention, now took on new meaning. The past test wouldn't have asked a question like that. She was still a deadly weapon, but now the person wielding her had given her the power to think. They only asked why. 3 whys. Why did the company send Marianne to New Hintero? After a brief moment of surprise, the magician narrowed her eyes and spoke. Yes, they know about Marianne's trip. They weren't supposed to. Who told them? Oh, instead, he asked him why someone told them at this point in time. He also asked why the Thurian Kuru is becoming more active. The tree. is on nearly the same level as the tree in Eurus previously was. Seems to be diffusing Titagen in a specific direction. Not strange that they know about the tree and Kuru activating, but it seems like they know too much. They specifically asked me why the Titagen emanation was spreading towards New Hintaro. What about the last one? Compared to the first two, the last one is a bit surprising. Rather than a question, it's more like a complaint after their previous panic. They also noticed that New Hintaro stopped moving after heading toward Hurricane Rose for several hours. Seems the game just has regained control of New. But the Ajatan hasn't contacted the company for a while. You must think there could be problems with the confidentiality of any communication. Or does it have something to do with that strange storm? We can't wait any longer. Something is going on here. Director T, have everyone meet in my office. Need to go find Ash. Maybe you can't enter New Hintaro. Need to head to the Kuru region at the very least. Understood. I'll let everyone know. Give me 5 minutes. You let them know. Start getting ready. I'm afraid you'll need to leave the first before sundown. Cathode technology? Technologies? Did I find out who's trying to compromise Yggdrasil's few remaining allies? Even working on her own, she was sharp as ever. Both precise and deadly. Yes. Yes. I'm sorry. Okay. The red-haired girl pursed her lips, squinted, and smiled, stopping T from saying what she wanted to. There's no need for that. Not to mention it wasn't your order at all. Know exactly who to settle the score with, don't worry. Now, Etchel. That sound like her. After leaving with a hearty smile and not giving Director T the chance to say another word, the Heimdall force's Tess Hodkin disappeared behind the smoke. Things didn't look good whatsoever. Though we had managed to get life to Heartflow Garden, using the equipment there in tandem with Ganges, remaining computing power to begin treatment. Stop moving, Ajatan. I don't want to get into this thing with the image of your expression in my head. Even though I'd already arranged for Sirius and Katya to head to New Hintaro's lower level to rendezvous with Finny near the Sky Island base, I supported the floating city. But before you even went to the Tower of Hanoi, you were thinking about my intel report from back then. 2 former board members fled to Kuru, vanished into thin air. Expected they'd try something, so you had Finny track them down from the beginning. I really don't know if you were just being overly paranoid or judiciously planning ahead. So I'd asked Agave to help calm the riots in the city. The more plans I made, the stronger the inexplicable worry in my heart grew. I was constantly forced to play this game of cards. I had no choice but to bite the bullet and play each and every card in my hand. Even though the house made the rules, it never followed them. My opponents, the spectators, everyone was watching me. In that case, should I just hide my cards and cheat? Yes. A delicate small voice floated from behind into my ears with a slight trill. A gentle touch on my back followed the sound, as soft as a spider's silk. The girl who had been hiding in the shadows appeared without a sound. Responding to my question, she slipped her fingers between mine and tightly gripped. Slowly pressed her cheek up against my back. Gave me a permit to enter the city years ago, but I couldn't places at once, just like the company needs me here now. Find someone to get permits for you two. Take this one too and go visit. Gaze followed her hand and looked down at the red card now. Palm. Walked out of Director T's office and handed it straight to me. It was my dream opportunity, I thought. Never let someone manipulate you again. Please use me, babe. I'll be your trump card. Throw me out. Like we promised along. Like you promised me. Is that the end? Oh. Not. Or is it? What? That's really the end? Every time one of these chapters ends on a cliffhanger, I just don't know. That's good though. That's really good.